Mike, the Cavs played their third to last game last night.
They did.
This regular season almost over. It's been a painful end of the regular season in general. I mean,
it's just too long. It's too long.
The NBA is doing well. Like, people go over the top on the problems of the NBA, but the end of the last month or so of the NBA regular season is an issue. There's no doubt about it. I don't know I don't think they can fix it. I don't think there's a realistic way.
They're trying to fix it with these new tanking suggestions. That I think it's going to make it even worse.
None of that's going to work. But anyway, the Cavs defeated the Hawks last night. Let's set up the situation here. The Cavs are a game behind the Knicks for the 3 seed. The Knicks have the half game. Knicks have the tiebreaker. I don't know if they want the tiebreaker, but they have it. So if the Knicks and Cavs end up tied, the Knicks will be the 3 seed, the Cavs will be the 4. The reason the Knicks beat the Cavs 2 out of 3 times this season, they're not playing again, obviously. So if they end up tied, so the Cavs to be the 3 seed, if you're rooting for such a thing, need to finish with a better record. The Knicks will play the Celtics tonight in New York. So if the Knicks lose tonight, they'll be tied. We'll see about that. But what's your thoughts on what happened last?
Bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you. Oh, God bless you.
Thank you.
No, so last night was the kind of the imperfect encapsulation of why this Cavs team is so frustrating and so tantalizing, but also prove that they can play and beat anybody in the NBA. So the first half last night, they ended up being down 5 at the end of the first half. Really competitive back and forth. Atlanta shot 9 of 18 from 3 in the first half.
Yeah.
Just 2 days after the Cavs gave up an NBA record, tied the NBA record, 29 threes to Atlanta.
Almost 70 points allowed to Atlanta in the first half.
Yeah.
Right.
Not a great defensive half, but it was a really good basketball half back and forth. And then the third quarter comes. And just like that, for 12 minutes, the Cavs looked like the best team in basketball. Outscored Atlanta 44-20. Defensively, they held Atlanta to 3 for 16 from 3 in the second half. I did a whole breakdown you can find on our YouTube page of some of the defensive changes that Cleveland kind of implemented in that third quarter that threw Atlanta out of the rhythm. Donovan caught fire. They scored 44 points. They were turning defense to offense. And for 12 minutes, if you stop, Bull, I sent you a text and said, I hope you're watching this butt whooping.
Yeah.
That was right at the end of the third quarter. For those 12 minutes, that Cavaliers team we saw in the third quarter could beat Oklahoma City. They could beat San Antonio. They could beat Denver. They could beat Boston. They could beat New York. You name it, that version of the Cavs could beat anybody. And then the fourth quarter rolled around, Bull. And for 6 minutes to start the fourth quarter, all the positive momentum the Cavs had built up in the third quarter went out the drain. And it went from a 7-point deficit at half to a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter heading into the final frame to just a 2-point lead with about 5:30 left. Right. And I'm looking around, and now I'm sweating because I texted you. I said, I hope you're watching this.
Yeah.
I almost texted it. We got to add a third Cavs topic in.
Yeah.
And then in those final 5 minutes, the Cavs did what they have done almost every clutch situation since they acquired James Harden. They turned into a methodical offensive machine down the stretch that Atlanta basically had no answers for. So you got the entire roller coaster of the Cavs.
Yeah.
Up and down first half, a dominant third quarter, a 6-minute stretch that looked like they've never played basketball together, and then a really, really, really strong finish. In totality, that was a playoff-like atmosphere, a playoff-like intensity. Yeah. That wasn't a game that you just turn on in the final 5 minutes and watch and say, the first 44 didn't matter.
Yeah.
That entire game mattered when you're looking at how to play, how to match up. And Kenny Atkinson said going into this game, we are playing this game to win. We talked about how should they handle it. Yeah. He said, tonight, being last night, we are going to win this game. We'll figure out Friday and Sunday later.
Well, yesterday we talked about, what does Donovan want as the leader of this team? And you could tell by his behavior yesterday, his reactions, he wants to win.
Oh, yeah.
As he should.
He's not ducking the Celtics.
As he should.
Right? He played, first of all, you've talked about him, Mike. He's kind of struggled a little bit in the second half. He was fantastic yesterday. I mean, he shot, 60% or whatever the hell it was?
Yeah.
He was great. Obviously, your guy Evan Mobley had a tremendous 19 boards.
22 and 19. He was awesome.
And so the Cavs are playing like they want to be the 3 seed. And right now. Now, we'll see what happens these next 2 games. I don't know.
I would argue they're not playing like they want to be the 3 seed. They're just running through the tape. They're not going to try to.
Fine, yeah. Not right. Not that they're specifically targeting.
See. We'll see.
We'll see what happens in the last 2 games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, with Washington, I don't even think the starters need to play and they'll win.
There is a 0% chance Cleveland loses the game on Sunday because Washington desperately needs to lose that game. I think us 3, Anthony and Steve, could start.
Well, why? The percentages change that much?
They are right on the cusp of being a top 3 worst team in the NBA versus getting into that 4-5, which changes your odds drastically. Yeah, they need to. Washington will I'm telling you,
Yeah.
us six, the 6 people in this room, the 5 of us here, and Steven, your son Aaron, could play. Washington would find a way to lose that game. So it comes down to Friday.
Not a lot of good basketball talent, I don't think, outside of you, Mike. I don't know if Jason's any good.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. One thing on Mitchell, excuse me.
Yeah.
Jason, we talked about last year how he wasn't finishing around the rim as well as he had in the past, right?
Yeah,
We kind of broke that down, talked about it. I want to give my boy Jackson Flickinger some credit because he pulled up this incredible stat, and I'm going to read it because I want to make sure I get this right. Donovan's changed the way he scored this year, and last night was the perfect example. He said after the game, I cannot attack the basket for 82 games. His exact quote was, and I'm paraphrasing, but basically said, I can't play like I played tonight for 82 games or my body would break down before the playoffs. I have to be smarter about how I score, and you saw how I turned it up tonight. My body feels good enough to do that for 16 playoff games, for 20 playoff games moving forward. Part of the reason his body is able to do that is the way he's changed his approach when he's getting into the paint. Donovan this season is making 54% of his shots between 4 and 14 feet of the hoop. So not at the rim, not layups, but in that mid-range area. That's good enough for the 97th percentile in the NBA.
Yeah.
54%, it's a career best. Last year, he was just 39% on those mid-range shots, those floaters, those pull-ups. Steven,
that's the percentage of time he's shooting from there or making from there?
His accuracy. His accuracy. So 54% this year, 97th percentile of all guards. He was 39%. And if you take the highlights from Donovan last night, a couple of these shots are just absurd. This is Donovan beating the shot clock. Like, there are so few dudes in the NBA that can do this consistently. You're going to see another one from the corner here in a sec. But watch how he gets into this mid-range area and just...
Is that a travel?
No, it's not, which is crazy. His ability to finish in these mid-range areas has kind of unlocked what Donovan has done best, which is using his size, his strength to create space down low and then finish without getting into the trees. And Jason, I do think we're about to see the most refreshed, energized version of Donovan Mitchell in a playoff series because he's been able to take a step back with James Harden's arrival in terms of the offensive usage he's needed. And secondly, he's taken fewer and fewer hits in the regular season to allow his body to now, that floater right there is exactly what I'm talking about, to now be in a position to, all right, if my body has 100 hits in it throughout the course of the year, I'm usually at 75 and have 25 left to give for the playoffs. I think he's at like 50 and still has 50 to give for the playoffs. I can't wait to see what Donovan does in the postseason.
This is just smart veteran basketball because I can't remember, I think it was Chris Paul who talked about like early in his career he would attack, get to the rim, take the foul, you hit the floor. There's only so many of those you have in your body where you're constantly scraping yourself off the floor. When you're an undersized guard, at some point you have to learn how to stop short and to make those floaters that you just saw and to make it from 4 and 5 feet. I think Dwayne learned that. Dwayne Wade used to be the guy who attacked the basket and then sort of learned how to be the guy who makes it from 4 or 5 feet out. So this is just, it's really sort of a natural transition as a guy, not that Donovan's old, but as a guy progresses in his career, as he understands his body, as he understands his limitations and his capabilities, to stop attacking the basket and to learn how to make shots from 4 and 5 feet out. It's just being smart.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it at all, like that he wasn't going to the... Do we know how often, like we'd have to research this, but I wonder how many times he's gone to the basket, if you will, this year compared to last.
I can tell you
if the numbers have dramatically dropped off.
We'll do a little tease.
Yeah.
I'll have that answer for you guys when we talk Cavs in the YouTube hour. I can find it on my phone. I just don't want to pull it up my phone.
Yeah, I mean, he often, there becomes a point in the playoffs, it seems, every year where he just feels like he's out of gas. And
because
part
he's
of
asked to do so much.
He's asked to do so much, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's been asked to do even more because the guys, but now with Harden, and we'll see, listen, you have two superstars in this team who, frankly, have proven less in the playoffs than almost any superstars in the league.
It's true.
Both Donovan and, Donovan doesn't have the bad reputation that James Harden does in the playoffs, but he still hasn't gone anywhere in the playoffs.
Correct.
So both of them have a ton to prove. Maybe putting them together will allow them to get over the hump for both of them. I don't know, but it's going to be fascinating to see how it plays out.
One last point, or I guess two, but they're tied together.
Yeah.
Evan Mobley was awesome last night. 19 rebounds is nothing to scoff at. He says he's feeling more comfortable day and day playing with James Harden, knowing how to kind of utilize the pick and roll with Harden. And because Harden's a lefty, when Harden goes left and Mobley rolls, it is such a natural pocket pass option now from a lefty across the lane. And he had a play like that last night where he hit Mobley on the roll. The other thing, Jared Allen, I know he's back to playing, played 30 minutes. He had 18-9 or 18-8, 16-8, whatever it was last night. He's hobbling a little bit. And it's the same injury he's dealing with right now that kept Steph Curry out for 27 games. I don't think he's going to be fully healthy for the playoffs. We didn't get a chance to talk to Jared after the game, but the Cavs need a healthy version of Jared Allen, as healthy as they can. Last night,
so why is he playing right now?
Because it's this kind of thing Steph Curry talked about in recovery. You could take 5 days in a row where you feel better, and then you wake up the 6th day and you take 15 steps back. There's not a linear progression, and I don't think he's going to play the final 2 games. Would be my guess. But he wasn't moving the way he's moved in the past. And that's just something to keep an eye on. Not freak out. I'm not panicking. I'm just my eyes are attuned to how Jared Allen's moving.
It's just something they're going to have to deal with.